Did you know that you can dye vinyl fabrics? You can dye anything plastic, including even things like Legos. I've made a good handful of Miku costumes, and at this point, I almost expect to have to dye something. And these little wings on the cutie angel Miku required a yellow dip dye. To get started, I folded my fabric, traced out my shape, and cut on a fold after I pinned it all together. And then after sewing, I flipped it inside out. I repeated this process because these wings are symmetrical before tracing out the smaller shape onto foam, because at the very end, I will be stuffing foam inside these. But before I stuff the foam inside, it's time to dye this with synthetic RIT dye. I boiled some water, added my color, and already did a test before I started doing the dip dye. To get best results, I leave the ends of the fabric, the most saturated part, in the dye for at least 20 minutes, and barely dip the parts that are going to be the least saturated. I didn't get footage, but I do rinse it out in cold water in a stainless steel sink before moving on. But now it's time to make the neck portion. It's literally just a tube, and if you don't know how to make a tube, it's essentially a rectangle that then gets folded in half, pinned and sewn shut, and then flipped right side out. This does enclose with Velcro before I sewed each of the wings on. And even though you can't even tell I'm wearing these from the front, they look really great in the